Hello and welcome to News 9 Live. I am Prajwal D'Souza. India is not short on talent. Several of India's premier educational institutions have made new inventions and have given the country and the world several great leaders. A new development, one of India's premier health institutions, IIT Kharagpur, has developed a testing kit for COVID-19. Now, IIT Kharagpur has claimed that the test will cost only 500 rupees and the test result will be obtained in an hour. On Wednesday, India's apex medical body, the Indian Council of Medical Research, has given a nod and approved the testing kit. Now, you must be wondering how the test kit works and how it delivers results within 1 hour and costs only 500 rupees. Now, to answer these questions for you, I am joined by Professor Suman Chakrabarty, lead researcher in the development of the testing kit. Now, Professor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Yes, first of all, congratulations on getting approval from the ICMR for your test kit.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, now, Professor, could you tell us how the testing kit works and how is it different from the RT-PCR or the antibody test?
I think we should start with the RT-PCR test first because that is what is known as the so-called gold standard in terms of the quality of the test and the reliability of the test results. The RT-PCR test has a few steps. The first step is the collection of the swab and then extraction of RNA from the swab. And the third part, which is the decisive part and most delicate part, is the analysis of the RNA to find out whether the virus is there or not.
Yes, yes.
Now to do that, in the RT-PCR test, a high-end machine is used, which is known as real-time PCR machine. This machine is very expensive, but it requires high-quality laboratory infrastructure and also trained technicians to do the testing. So what it means is that it's not just about the cost. Even if the government by some subsidy or intervention reduces the cost to a large extent, infrastructure wise it is not possible to use this test to diagnose the virus for a large number of population who are located at various places in the country.
Yes.
So the alternative, which is the other test that you talked about, is the so-called rapid test. There are two types of rapid tests available. One is rapid antigen test, another is rapid antibody test. So rapid antibody test I am not talking about here because that is a blood-based test and the purpose is somewhat different from these tests.
Yes.
So the rapid antigen test, again its purpose is very similar, that to detect whether the COVID-19 infection is there with the patient or not.
Yes.
Advantage of these tests is that it is extremely cheap, user-friendly, and it can be used anywhere. The problem is the reliability of the test result.
Yes.
So very commonly, typically at early stages of infection, this test kit gives a negative result. That means, in simple terms, you are already infected, but this test kit is saying that you are not infected.
Yes.
So that is a very dangerous prediction because based on that, if somebody is spending lifestyle as usual and the person is not having any symptom, then in an asymptomatic manner the patient can actually spread the infection in the community, and that is how the community level spreading can potentially occur.
Yes.
So
now,
we tried
Professor
to develop
Professor Suman, sorry for interrupting, but now how will your KoviRap device tell if a person has tested positive or negative? What mechanism?
Yeah, that is what I'm. So to understand that, you have to know this background, because what the KoviRap does is it essentially tries to combine the advantages of these two.
Yes.
And in that way, it has made a fusion or a hybrid type of test, which in technical terms is not exactly RT-PCR test, but scientifically it follows the scientific principles of the same thing, the RT-PCR class of test.
Yes.
But in terms of elegance, so you don't have to require a RT-PCR machine. what you require is this simple KoviRap box that we have developed. It's a small box which can be taken anywhere. You can put it on the top of a table. Any untrained or minimally trained person can operate this machine.
Okay.
And it doesn't require any special infrastructure.
Now, Professor,
So
Professor, how did you determine the accuracy of the testing kit? Like what methods were followed? Because you said that within 1 hour results will be arrived, and the kit is actually very accurate as the RT-PCR test.
Yes. So this accuracy of the test is normally verified by regulatory bodies, and in this case ICMR. So ICMR on behalf of the ICMR, the ICMR NICET laboratory, which is an authorized laboratory to do this testing.
Yes.
They did this test on our method and device for 200 number of patient samples.
Okay.
I mean, these are samples taken from real patients for whom already result from RT-PCR test is available. So that was there in their database, and it was a blind database, so it was not known to anybody other than them. And then using our method, their testing personnel supervised and conducted the testing procedure on the same sample, and then using our procedure, the result was obtained.
Okay.
So in that way, for these 200 cases, they tabulated the result, found out the number of true positives, true negatives, false positives, false negatives, made an analysis, and from that analysis only the conclusion is that it is almost as close to the prediction that could be made out of a RT-PCR test.
Yes,
I mean, quite close.
Yes, Professor. Now coming back to KoviRap, how is the testing cheap when compared with other forms of testing, taking into account RT-PCR, which is actually very expensive?
As I mentioned, that for every test there are two essential components. One component is the kit, which is the reaction reagent, etc., which are required to do every test, and a device or a machine on which you do the test. It is sometimes very confusing because people have a claim that they have made a new kit. The question is that in most of the these classical tests, the kit is not standalone. It has to be used in a machine or in a setup. It has to be used by a technician. All those factors come into picture. So in this case, the kit cost is itself, I mean, it is quite low. On the top of that, the infrastructure requirement is not the real-time PCR machine. Well, you can do the same test using a real-time PCR machine you want, but it is like, if you want to kill a mosquito, you can just slap and kill, or you can use a cannon or kill. So it is up to you. So this method you can very well implement in a real-time PCR machine.
Yes. Now, Professor,
you can also use our KoviRap box. So that being a very low-cost device, along with the minimally trained human resources, plus the low-cost reagent or the kits, all together actually simplify the test and bring down the cost to a large extent without compromising the accuracy of the test by too much.
Now, Professor, coming back to operating the kit, does it need a skilled professional or a certified lab technician?
No, it doesn't require a certified lab technician to do it. We have tested it in various ways. So some of our highly specialized students who are specialized in virology or molecular biology, they started with the test, and finally we came up with something where somebody who doesn't know this subject at all, but is given a set of written instructions in a simple language, either English or it may be Hindi or regional language. In our case, regional language is Bengali because we are from West Bengal. So I have myself checked that with simple instructions written in this regional language, somebody who is not at all aware of what is going on in the test, what is the core biology or technology behind it, can implement it. On the top of that, this person who is implementing the test doesn't have to take a manual decision, because the entire analytics and readout is done by a smartphone app developed by us.
Yes.
So I mean, it doesn't require a manual interpretation, and that makes it even simpler for somebody who is doing the test. That person himself or herself does not have to interpret the the outcome and give the test result.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Professor Suman, for all these insights, and thank you for joining us on this live interaction. And once again, congratulations on getting the ICMR's approval. Now, that was Professor Suman Chakraborty from IIT Kharagpur, who has clearly explained how this new KoviRap testing kit actually manufactured by them works. Now, as this kit is portable, it will be especially useful in rural areas where infrastructure for lab testing is very minimum. If you like this video, do click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to News 9 on all the social media platforms. Thank you for watching and have a great day.